Are you tired of people trying to test your limits? Wish you could watch in real time as they mess around and learn the hard way? Introducing the FAFO surveillance system. Because sometimes people just need to. FAFO.
The FAFO system uses cutting-edge technology to capture every moment when someone decides to, you guessed it, fuck around and find out.
Crystal clear audio, motion detection, and our exclusive regret meter feature, you can sit back and enjoy the show as they dig themselves in deeper. Perfect for noisy neighbors, rebellious teens, or anyone who thinks they won't get caught. The FAFO surveillance system is not just a security camera, it's an educational tool.
Remember, if they FAFO, we've got the footage.
Now, and we'll throw in an FAFO playback remote. Relive the best moments anytime, anywhere, because if they're going to learn the hard way, you might as well enjoy it.
A bullet beat combined to Il Brio. Call the homies up and make tracks with my people. Cause when we join forces, we know that he is with us. We talk to him and keep a strong witness. So when I say I'm gonna take you to church, I really take you to
Curtis, man.
Buddy?
I got one question for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Oh,
No,
I'm
are
ready.
you ready?
Are you ready? All right.
I'm ready. You ready
Let's
to
do
get
this.
corrected? All right, season 2,
Season 2.
episode 2, which is like episode 15 overall, man.
It's insane, man. What do you think about talking about the city of Denver today and some of the suburbs?
Got it. You know what? I live in a suburb of Denver. You know, I live in one of those suburbs that they might actually like me. One of the places close to a big city that might finally like me. Okay.
Cute.
You got no comment?
How far from downtown Denver are you? How long would it take you to leave from your house and drive and be at the state capitol?
No traffic? Or with what's
Average
always
traffic.
Probably be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I know there's a lot to do up there. I've just about a year ago, my family and I went to the Meow Wolf up there. It was really,
Yeah, how did you like
You
it?
feel like you're having a bad acid trip, but it's really it's very interesting that it's immersive art, and the amount of detail that they put into it is spectacular. It's the weirdest, coolest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I've been to that one. I didn't understand that one as well, and I didn't take the time to really dive into that one. I mean, it's really cool. But the way I understand it is there's like 4 different worlds in that. Is that the way you understand it?
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it too.
I think we touched about the one in Vegas a little bit, but I like the one in Vegas quite more than I like this one, even though this one's
I would
cool.
agree. I would agree that it's...
But I like the way the one in Vegas was set up when you and I went to the one in Vegas.
Yeah, that one's cool, where you're in a... You feel like you're in a normal convenience store, but then you see somebody like walk out of a pop cooler, and you can take that and walk in there and
Yeah, you go into the dairy section and you
be like in a whole nother different dimension.
and you got to pop all the doors. Yeah, and you got to pop all the damn doors.
But no, it was cool. I think they're both cool, but I'd agree that the one in Vegas probably takes the cake.
For sure. They got the one in Santa Fe though too.
Yeah.
That might have to take a road trip for. But you also, speaking in Denver, have been a Broncos season ticket holder for quite some time.
Yeah, my wife inherited the tickets, and her parents inherited them from a neighbor who had them before them even. So they've been in my wife's family for several years. They're great tickets, row 6 on the row 6.
And you used to be a diehard Bronco fan. I don't think you're a diehard fan anymore.
You know me and my patriotism. I cannot. It lost me when they started not standing up for my flag. You're going to play under my flag.
Did that really throw you?
I feel like if you're going to play under it, you should stand for it, and that is not the right platform.
It's like you should have been a Cowboys fan then, my man.
At least they made him stand up.
So you sit right there on the field goal post, though,
Yeah,
right?
we sit on the south end zone, which is really cool when they're down there. You know, when they get ready to kick a field goal, a lot of times you can catch the ball if it's miskicked. But you can see their facial expressions. You can hear them yelling at each other. It's awesome. I've been on national TV several times.
So that means your back's right there on. Did you check yourself
All
out?
the time. Wouldn't you?
Means your back's right there facing the strip of Denver right there on Colfax. You could find you a good lot lizard after the game running up and down Colfax.
You'll be wandering around out there. I don't think you'd have to look too hard.
Be careful for those lizards, man. They'll pull you in.
Now you have. Now, speaking of a place that's really close to the stadium there, you have season tickets to Elitch's.
Yeah, I get them for my daughter and I every year, and the only reason I get them is because now she's like finally tall enough to ride the big kid rides for the most part. She can ride every ride in there now except one of the bigger coasters they have. It's like called the Mindy Racer, the big red one. And I remember as a kid, man, that place, it was really cool because Six Flags bought it. Do you remember when Six Flags owned it? It was so well kept back then. I mean, everything was immaculate. It was like going to like Disney.
It was spotless,
honestly.
yeah.
Now you go in there and it's really sad, and you look at the place and they've let it go. Like the rides are junk. The vibrance of the place is gone, man. And you know, like I said, we only go because I use it as a little confidence builder for her because, you know, I believe it's helped her build a little bit of confidence trying to ride those rides that are a little bit scarier, you know, just not forcing them on her, but you know, she's always been pretty shy and you know, introverted in a lot of ways, kind of like me, kind of like a guy that showed up at 18 years old and the Parks and Rec Center and got his jeans cut off. And so I try and branch her out a little bit more so she's not like I was at that young age and build some confidence in her to try new things. But that's why we go there. But long story short about the place is, I mean, it's still fun. Don't get me wrong, but they're counting the days on the place. And, you know, they're going to close it here soon. And it's not because the business is bad itself. It's because they're getting ready to remodel that whole area and take the place out.
That's what I've heard.
And make the city of Denver a little bit better in that area.
Makes sense.
You know, so, and, you know, when you talk about Denver and some of the other staples, you know, like I think this year I'm going to buy Waterworld passes this year instead of Elitch passes just because Waterworld still has that intriguing factor to it. It's a lot better kept. And I've took her there once every summer, and this last summer we went there and I couldn't believe this, man. I don't know if I told you this, but we get there and we've spent all day there riding everything, and we go in the wave pool. I don't know if you remember the wave pool or how long it's been since you've been there.
Yeah, I love that pool.
And so I'm like, all right, we can go in the wave pool. I was like, and that's it. We're going to leave after this. And so they got the place to take off your shoes and everything. And I had Crocs. I take my Crocs off, put them by the bin, and you know, I got big feet. And when I walk downstairs, I have to walk sideways, or I have to keep my shoes on, because if I don't, I bust my ass coming down like regular stairs, because I got no grip because most of my weight hangs over the front edge, you know. And so I know this going off these little steps that go into the wave pool, and I'm gingerly walking, dude, and I straight up bust my ass stepping into this wave pool, and there's one step going down, and I felt myself slip, and I was like, I was like Marv from Home Alone when he hit the paint spill, and he goes into the sink, and he's like, whoa! And I start flailing my arms back, and I'm like, I'm going to hit my back on this concrete step. I was like, I can't do it. And I slip back, and I plant my hands on the step as I fall because I didn't want my back to hit it. And I felt like every muscle in my shoulder
You
pop.
were jacked up for a while from that.
And my wrist,
Is it still
my
messed
wrist
up?
still hurts, dude. It still hurts, and my wrist popped. But I was more worried I tore something in my shoulder, and because all the pops, because I was like, I definitely had to mess something up. And I woke up the next morning, my shoulder didn't even hurt. My whole wrist was just jacked, man.
Wow.
And so I should probably go see a doctor, but I'm living.
Yeah. Oh, this Waterworld's a good time. I will say that. Not very, recently, but as a kid, I spent a lot of time up there. Had an aunt and uncle that lived up in the Loveland area, so every time we'd go see them, we'd go to Waterworld down in Denver. Just drive down and spend a day there. Loved all the pools, the lazy river. All the tube rides are fun.
And that's rated like one of the best water parks in the country. It's definitely a top 10 water
It's
park.
huge. I mean, you spend all day there, you might not see everything.
And that's one of the things they say. I think it's one of the biggest, but you also have to walk everywhere. They got a cool new water coaster in there too, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been in
So,
a long time.
you need to go back and check it out.
And bring my wife and daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to go off track just for a minute, man. I was talking about Colfax. This just reminded me. You got me sidetracked. And you brought up lot lizards, not me. And for those who don't know what a lot lizard is, you better go look it up. But
Lady of the Night.
Season 1, you and I talked about the Mesa Drive-In in Pueblo.
Yeah.
You know where
I
I'm going with
know
this.
exactly where you're going with this.
And you and I this summer actually went and saw a movie down there
We
this
may
summer.
or may not have seen a lot lizard.
And you remember, we may or may not, cannot confirm, in a leopard dress, and we called her on it, and
Wearing high heels, walking
Who
around
knows?
on all them berms in the drive-in movie theater.
yeah, it reminded me of that hangover moment in the movie The Hangover, where he's like, ma'am. She did not. No. It was, shouldn't have been wearing that.
Not a terrible movie, though. Terrible
But-
movie.
Back on the terrible. No, who watches that movie?
Remake a classic.
So
like,
many
Make a
non-one-liners.
classic like Twister. Do it right. For Christ's sake.
That's
Terrible.
what we saw, huh? We saw Twister.
Yeah, Twisters is what it's called now. It's terrible.
I don't know. A lot of people love that movie, man, and we didn't even like it.
I think you and I talked through the second half of it.
Maybe don't even remember it. I do like the first one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Going back on the Denver thing. So I took my daughter to a Rockies game this year. It's the coolest thing, dude. And she got me tickets for my birthday this year, and the Cardinals were in town. And so I didn't really think about this, and I didn't put all this together. But anyways, I took her to one. We went to 2 games this summer. We went to one in like July, August, and she had so much fun. She wanted to come back, but the reason she had fun was, if you've ever been to a baseball game, I've always gone to watch batting practice. I've never really gone to like be a part of the game, even though I loved the game. But the best part to me was I would buy a $5 ticket to go watch batting practice and be happy, and then I could leave. And so I took her down by the field in the summer before we went for my birthday for batting practice, and she wanted to get a ball so bad. But we got there kind of late because of traffic. And so she got me tickets for my birthday, and she's like, I want to go back. And she's like, I want to get there for batting practice.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, we get tickets, and the Cardinals are in town. And we get there just as the gates are opening 2 hours early. And if you don't know, there's only 2 gates at the field that open 2 hours early. And I won't tell you which ones because I like to be like one of the only ones in there. So you got to figure that out. So we get in. Nobody shows up to the park that night because the Rockies are just dog shit now. They're just straight dog shit. And there's nobody there. I mean, there's literally maybe 100 people up for batting practice. And one of the players hits a ball, and we're in left field, front row. And the ball just kind of rolled there and laid there. And she wanted to move, and I said, if you want a ball, that's probably your best chance to get a ball today. And so we sit there watching batting practice, and we're watching balls fly, over our heads left and right. And I said, here it comes, Lil. And I said, you need to show him that you want this ball here because he's not going to throw it to me. And so he picks up this ball, and he looks at her, and I kind of pointed, and I said, let her have it. And he tossed it to me, and I caught the ball. So first ball that I've ever got from a game, cool experience, but it's hers, which I give it to her and makes her night, right? So our seats were in the upper deck and in right field. And so we go up there and we see what's going on, and everything's closed up there because they're not expecting a big crowd that night. And so we go look at our seats, and we're in the right field corner behind the right field foul pole in the upper deck, and the sun's just beating on us, dude. And I was like, all right, you want to move down? I said, let's try and move down. So we went down to the first baseline where a lot of open seats were, and found some seats pretty close to the dugout. And ground ball, there were 2 outs, and a ground ball was hit to third base, and third baseman fields it, throws it to first. Ends the inning. First baseman turns around. Coolest moment, dude. Turns around, looks right at her, and there's a good crowd of people there in this area. Looks right at her, and baseball now has a net that goes all the way down the line. Mm-hmm. And he looks right at her, and he tosses this ball over the net, drops it right on me because he's looking at her. And so I caught this ball for her.
That's badass.
And I give her the ball. So now she's got two balls in one night. And the weird, cool story about this was that, so my grandfather had just passed away this spring. And he was the biggest Cardinals fan ever. So if you knew him, he watched every Cardinals game at home. And so that was the thing, right? Like, we showed up, watched Cardinals play, beat the Rockies, but yet he got her 2 baseballs that night.
Nice.
So
that's too cool. That
was the highlight of the summer for me.
Oh, that's a good story. I like the Rockies game on the July 4th. When you get closer to the 4th of July, and you can go down on the field and lay in the grass and watch the fireworks.
That's a good thing about Denver is the sports teams have a lot of good 4th of July fireworks.
And they were probably some of the best I'd ever seen, and on par with Disney.
And you know who does another good one too is the lacrosse team that plays at the Broncos Stadium on the 4th.
Okay.
That's another good one. So if you need something to check out, I would go check that out too. And I mean, we haven't even touched on half the things in Denver, and we're already 20 minutes in this topic, dude.
Yeah, there's so much to do up there.
Obviously, the nightlife in Denver's good. The nightlife's good. You got whatever you want. I mean, we're just as expensive, if not like California downtown now, drinking prices and whatnot. I'm not the big bar scene person, but people do it, and they go out. There's a lot of good food. I mean, you can't go wrong in downtown Denver. In the Staple, Casa Bonita.
Casa Bonita.
Have you been back?
I have not been there. Supposedly it's a
You've
little
never
bit better.
been?
Have I ever been?
You've never gone
I've been
at
there
all?
several times.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to it since they reopened.
Oh, I was going to say. Not since they got Kenny?
Not since they made all the improvements.
No, we went in the spring.
Is it better?
And, Yeah, the food is better. I mean, it's not great, but it's better. I mean, I don't remember the food a whole lot as a kid. I mean, I remember the cheese enchiladas, and I was a kid. I mean, there were cheese enchiladas and all you could eat.
Yeah,
But the sopapillas are different. No, you can't go. Yeah, you still get the sopapillas. They're different. They're still good. The shows are a lot better. Like the puppet show. You remember the puppet show?
Mm-hmm.
A lot better. You know, they still got the cave. Like Bart's. Is it Bart's Cave? I don't remember the name of it. And then they've redone the arcade, which is really cool as well. I mean, they've done a lot of good revamps in there, and obviously, it's one staple to go see. I would go see it at least once. It's highly overpriced though, right now.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, all right, buddy. You know what we forgot last week?
Dad jokes.
Forgot our dad jokes, man. We forgot our dad jokes. I can't believe that after a whole season of dad jokes, you let that slide.
I know.
That was your thing. First of all, we'll have to be right back after this message. Tired of expensive doctor visits and awkward conversations? Well, introducing the We Stand Corrected DIY Hemorrhoid Removal Kit. Because who needs medical professionals when you have determination?
Duct tape, an ice pack, a rubber band, and instructions that are, well, probably medically questionable at the best.
Remember, it's DIY for a reason. Just follow our detailed, semi-accurate instructions, and you'll be saying goodbye to those pesky hemorrhoids, or at least making some creative memories. Why wait for relief when you can create your own solution? The We Stand Corrected DIY Hemorrhoid Removal Kit. Not FDA approved, but definitely worth a shot. Warning, please don't actually try this at home. This sponsor of Dad Jokes is brought to you by the We Stand Corrected DIY Hemorrhoid Removal Kit. Curtis, give me something, dude. No, I don't. Why?
They're always spotted.
All right. Well, why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Come on, man. Give me one more, dude.
Oh, man.
You got a jokes or what?
Another one?
Oh, come on. All right. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Because they don't have the guts.
An octopus.
As long as it takes. I don't know.
About 10 tickles.
All right, that was good. That was good. Should we do a Uber Chronicles? So I was driving along the other night, and I'm up by DIA, and the road is called Tower Road, and they've kind of built it up now, hotels and all this, and I'm getting ready to make a left on Tower Road, and I see all these cars being super aggressive trying to pass this car that's not like moving. It's moving really weird in the left-hand turn lane. It's in the right left-hand turn lane. And I'm like, what's going on? Something's weird's happening. And I got a ride, so I'm going to pick up a guy at a hotel down the street. And so then this car takes off, and it's swerving everywhere. And I watch all these cars. They must have been following them long before I got back there. And they blow past this guy he's all over the road, man. And he's swerving in and out of two lanes. And it's at this point now, it's just me and him. And I'm like, I'm going to hang back and I'm going to watch this. And so I'm about, 200 feet back. And I'm watching this guy swerve everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. We're coming up to a light. And I watch him start to turn. Like I said, I let him go about 200 feet, maybe 100 yards. And I watch him make a right turn, and I watch him stop. I'm like, that's weird. And so as I'm driving up a little closer, going through this light, this dude went head on with a gold Tahoe that was making a left in the opposite side.
Oh,
and
shit.
I drive by, and the guy in the Tahoe has the window down and his arms hanging out. He's probably going like, what the fuck? And so as I see this, the drunk is backing up and pulled off his whole front bumper, dude. Pulled off his whole front bumper. And so by
Trying
this
to get
time,
the hell out of there.
I guess, and so by this time I'm less than a quarter mile from my pickup, and I'm like, I can't stop, like, you know, I got to go pick up this guy. And so I pull up to the hotel. It's literally like less than a quarter mile, and I was like, hey, we got to go over here. I just watched this drunk like go head on with this Tahoe, and he's like, oh yeah, let's go see this. So I get him in, I whip out and back around, flip a Yui, and I get there, and they're gone. Both of them. All gone, dude.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened, but I bet the guy
makes you
fleed,
wonder.
and then
No, he probably tried to chase him down and get a license plate or something. I know I would.
Yep. So that was some of the crazy I had
Wow.
going on with the Uber Chronicles. So
We got to get you a dash cam,
2 Uber
dude.
Chronicles in a row. I ordered one for the inside of the car.
Nice. Did you like
So,
do you like taxi cab
That way you
confessions?
can see this. Do you want to tell us why you were watching that show several years ago, or why you know about that show?
I used to love that show, dude.
Hmm?
Taxi cab
Oh, yeah?
confessions.
What'd you love about it?
I thought it was interesting. There was always something new. There was always either somebody fighting or having sex.
Yeah,
It was
you
always
were
good,
probably
though.
all of a 13-year-old boy. Yeah, a 13-year-old boy
No,
watching
14,
HBO.
14.
Taxi. You know what? I was more of like a cash cab guy. You know, like,
That was a good
hi,
one,
welcome
too.
to the cash cab. Yeah, see,
Mm-hmm. Yep, some good
people
shows.
remember that one. Yeah, I never had HBO. I only got to watch. I only got to see that when it was on for free for the weekend. Shoot, man. We're 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
Season 2.
soon.
I got an email from a guy. His name was Miles. And I was telling you about this.
Yes.
And he wants to come on our show. So I was texting him, trying to get him on tonight. And he's East Coast. And I'm still trying to figure out how he found out about us. And so hopefully he comes on and he listens right now. And he knows, hey, Miles, you're invited to come on the show, buddy.
Absolutely.
So he had reached out and he sent an email, and let me see if I can find this email real quick. And he listened to our episode of when we were talking about when you went down to Alamosa, and I was talking about taking the hike up Zapata Falls and doing the sand dunes. That episode,
Yeah.
I think it was episode 12 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of resonated with him quite a bit. And he goes, he wanted to talk about, some of the times he trekked over 1,100 miles through the Middle Eastern deserts. So I was pretty interested in hearing about this. So he texted me a link today. He's got his link tree, and he's got books, and he's got some interesting things I think we could invite him onto. So Miles, let's get you on, buddy.
Man. Sounds like it'd be some good episode material.
Yep. So I'm trying. I'll see if he gets back, and we'll get him on for episode 3, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
All right, yeah.
So,
Cool. Yeah, keep in touch with us, Miles.
all right. Until next week, my friend.
All right, buddy. Well,
Yep.
I'd say we stand corrected. I don't know how, but I'm sure somehow we are.
You got Denver righted. All right.
Denver righted.
Hey, do you want to make a bet?
About what?
Do you want to make a bet?
It depends. I got to know what we're betting at.
November 5th.
November 5th? It's going to be a sad, sad day for you liberals.
Before we get out of here,
Do it this time.
Whoa. For those who don't remember why we had this idea that created. So, do we want to make a bet?
Let's do it.
If you win, you get me a MAGA hat. I'll wear the MAGA hat or whatever.
But I ain't wearing any camelist shit.
Yeah. But what if I win? It's a bet. A bet is a bet.
I can't do it now. I can't bet that. That's too extreme.
Or I can put a vagina chin like your boy has.
Well, shit.
Come on.
She's got a better one.
Somebody sounds a little scared about November 5th.
I ain't scared of
Just
November
saying.
5th.
If you were so confident, you would make the bet. Just saying.
You know, I would say I
Well, I mean,
may not get the popular vote.
I'm just
Never
afraid
have,
if I wear a
never
camel
will,
hat that
and
it
I
might burn
won't
my
even
forehead.
fucking get it this time.
I'll get you the camo one that Waltz wears. Come on, homie. How about the camo one? The
won't.
camo and orange.
I will not wear
Waltz
anything
one.
that represents camel hairs.
Somebody doesn't sound confident.
Oh, I'm confident, but I will.
You guys
not.
heard it. He won't even get corrected.
I won't be corrected on that one.
Chicken shit. Chicken shit.
Call me
All
what
right.
you want.
Can't make a bet. I knew you wouldn't.
Well, we'll
All right,
figure out. We'll
till
figure out
next
some
week.
different terms. We'll bet next time.
It's going to be over by then until we get back on here.
There'll be more bets to be had.
All right. Till episode 3.
All right, buddy. Have a good night. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.